This is the Toll of Hell radio show. I am Jordan. Today we have a very, very special guest with us. We are speaking with Jonas Renkse of Katatonia. Jonas, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. It is about 9 in the morning where I am now in the United States, and I'm actually supposed to be working right now, my real daytime job. So I want to thank you for letting me talk about heavy metal while actually getting paid for my real job.
Oh, that's great. My pleasure.
So the latest album, which you released on my birthday, so thank you very much for that gift, is Nightmares as Extensions of the Waking State. It's been out about a month now. Now that you've had time to kind of sit back and see what fans and critics have to say, and you've kind of gone through the whole writing and recording process, how do you feel about the album?
I feel great. As you say, it always takes some time to, even for yourself, to sort of digest what's been going on. Uh, the whole album thing is it takes a lot of time from the writing sessions to going through recordings, and then you have to wait quite some time to have it released, and so it's sort of a procedure process. But now when it's out there, it feels great. I think so far the response has been really good as well. And we just started picking up some songs off the album to start playing them live. So that's a good feeling.
When you're writing and recording some of these songs that you know at some point down the line you'll probably be playing them live, do you during the process, do you know, like, yes, this is something that we could do live, this is something we want to do live, versus maybe this is towards the end of the album. I don't know if we could or should do this.
Yeah, I mean, some songs or even some parts, when you write them, you can feel, you can sense the sort of live quality to them. And it's especially good if you feel like a whole song has like a really lively feeling to it, and then you just can't wait to try it. But I mean, sometimes we've had songs that we thought would go down well live, and they haven't really done that. At the same time, you can have a song that you thought this is not going to be a live favorite, and it's actually turned out to be one. So it's you never know. You can never be sure, which is, I guess, also part of the game. Which is, it's nice to be surprised sometimes, and sometimes it's not so nice.
It can kind of be fun in a way to perform something live and to see an audience react to it maybe in a positive way you weren't expecting. But when it comes to Catatonia's music and your lyrics and the feeling, I mean, obviously there's a lot of introspection, personal feelings, depression. When you do some of those songs live and like maybe you don't get the reaction you'd expect, does that weigh heavily on you?
Not really, not these days. I would say more so in the beginning when we started playing live more regularly, and I would, I wouldn't say I was taking offense, but sometimes you would sort of pour your heart out there and not get the response you were expecting. But these days, I mean, we played so much live. I know every gig is different, every crowd is different. You can't really please everyone, and I'm happy just to be up there and feel the energy. And if someone is, taking the piss or it doesn't really bother me anymore.
Oh, that's good to hear. Because when you're putting your heart out there and you're like really writing something that means a lot to you, you kind of hope that your audience maybe feels the same way or at least can get something out of it. And in a heavy metal scene is full of lots of different people, and the reactions may not reflect what you're hoping for. So, I guess that's a positive way to look at it, especially for a band that's been around so long as yours.
Yeah. Um, and I see every show as also a chance to, if there's someone in the audience coming with an attitude like I don't like this band, whatever, to sort of change their mind and hopefully, turn them onto Catatonia instead of the other way around.
And I think with the music that Katatonia does, just because someone is looking angry and has their arms folded, doesn't mean they don't like you.
No, exactly. I mean, that can be just a nice pose. I've done it myself
Sure.
sometimes as well.
Katatonia has a very long history, and just throughout your entire career, the musical style has just constantly evolved. Is that a natural progression that you just feel and do when it comes to writing and recording? Or is there a specific intention to constantly have Katatonia changing from album to album?
No, it's supernatural. Because we never really had like a master plan of being like, 2 albums from now we're going to sound like that, or it's for me. I think it's all about curiosity and still being, absorbed by music and the power of music. It's great to still feel that kind of hunger to, just want to get in there and see what's in there and what we can get out of it in our songs. And obviously, there's going to be limits to what we can do or want to do within the concept of Catatonia because we have like a foundation and a sound that we're really happy with. But the constant evolution in small steps, I think, is super healthy. It's been super healthy for us as a band.
And listening to Nightmares, I can certainly hear the evolution and changes. While, it still obviously sounds like Katatonia. Specifically thinking of like one of your singles, like Wind of No Change, it's maybe a little bit different from what someone may have heard off of at least the last couple of albums. So when you're coming up with sort of these new, changing different sounds, is there ever like a trepidation? Like, are we getting too far from what we're doing, or is it just this is what we want to do and whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's the gut feeling that has to kick in, and I mean, in this specific song, obviously, it's a bit different from the other stuff on the album, and also what we've done on the last couple of albums, as you said. But I had a good feeling about it. I started writing just the intro thing, and I thought, there's some kind of a cocky feeling to it, which I wanted to explore further in the song, especially in the choruses, and it turned out to be what it is now. And I was never really doubting it. I was just feeling like I want to do this, and you know, if the end result would be something that I wasn't super happy with, I would probably take it off the album
Mhm.
and use it as a bonus track or something. But I think it's to me, it's one of the strongest songs on the record.
Yeah, and you could hear the confidence in the band and in yourself when talking about it because it's one of the singles. There's a video, so I mean, clearly you strongly believe in it. Do you think? I mean, obviously you're not putting off another record anytime soon, but are you thinking like, is this kind of the way that Catatonia may evolve in the next couple of years with this type of sound?
Yeah, I mean, not for a full album, maybe
Hmm.
with those kind of songs, but it's definitely a path that I would explore, want to explore more because it has. I mean, it's written a little bit like a tribute to my old love for heavy metal and what it meant to me back in the day when I was growing up as a kid and just getting into metal. So I wanted it to have like this super simple chorus, and I'd like to do more of that, but it has to have probably a reason for happening and not just let's do 2 more of those kind of songs.
Hmm.
So we need to find the right vibe and the right tone for it first.
Kind of speaking of the old heavy metal bands that you like, is Wind of No Change a reference to the Scorpion song?
It is, yeah. It's I mean, it doesn't really have anything in common with the
Hmm.
Scorpions song, except the title. And I think for me, it was just a nice. I mean, it sounds good when you say it, "Wind of No Change," especially when you know that the Scorpion song is a very positive one,
Hmm.
having a really positive message. And I have to say, they have a great song there. But ours is a little bit more on the dark side. So It's a nice title. I think it sounds great when you say it.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I love that you put the Katatonia twist on it of negativity.
Yeah,
And I mean, for me, I was probably 5 years old. This is probably the very first heavy metal, at least heavy metal ballad song that I had ever heard. And just as a child was like, wow, I really like this. And every
yeah,
time I hear it now, it kind of brings a smile to my face. So seeing this as the title and knowing what you and Catatonia are all about, it kind of makes me smile a little bit more because it's the like the other side of the coin is yes, this is positive. And on the other side is Catatonia saying, maybe not."
yeah, yeah. That's that's a great. It's great that I mean both of the songs have made you smile. That says a lot about music in general, like and the stuff that you really like. It's important shit.
Yeah, it's the power of heavy metal can give you joy even in sadness, which I mean, I think personally for me is why I enjoy a band like Catatonia because yes, I share a lot of those same feelings of, loss, remorse, sadness, introspection. When you're writing those songs, are you feeling those feelings in the moment, or is it kind of like you have to go back and tap into something in the past to be able to write those feelings?
It's usually that I have to go back and sort of backtrack. Um, it's like you have an inner drawer of stuff that you can go through when needed to, at least for me. Because when I sit and write music, I'm usually in a creative mood. If I was super, off and depressed and having a really bad dip, I wouldn't even sit down with the guitar or anything. So when I'm doing the music, I'm feeling pretty joyous when it's going well, at least the writing, and then going back to see what's in the back of your head, what kind of emotions can you bring forth to further sort of enhance this type of song. Because I mean, for me, I always try to write the kind of lyrics that the song needs or what I feel it needs when it speaks to me, back to me when I'm sort of finishing it off. So yeah, it's a process, but it's also creative to go back into that sort of negativity, pull it out into the light again, and being able to sort of use it for something rather than just have it as a bird of ill omen sort of
Mhm.
circling your head. Um, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you could use those feelings as kind of fuel for creativity, even if maybe you're not feeling it at the time.
Yeah, exactly,
When
exactly.
it comes to, like you said, you're kind of happy and feeling creative when you start making this sad music. Is the other flip side, is there a possibility of perhaps another project in the future where you're making happy music?
I don't know. I mean, happy music doesn't really appeal to me so much. Even if I'm in a good mood, I still want to hear the sad old stuff, that I always listen to. I've tried to enjoy happy music, but it just doesn't really click with me. So I think even trying to write it would sound weird and false if
Mm.
I tried.
Yeah, I mean, I think happy music is nice in the moment, but it's the sad music is what sticks with you because it feels more real.
Yeah.
It's
And it's
honest.
yeah, exactly. And it's in my DNA sort of. I mean, I don't mind happy music if it's
Mm.
just on the radio, whatever, you listen with one ear and you don't care so much about it. But when it comes to music as being as important as it is for me, I still want to have the morose shit.
Yeah. It's like a song like Saw You Drown. I think you could hear it in the guitars and your voice and in the words. To me it sticks out to you. I get what you're trying to say, and for
Mm.
me that's way more than anything I could possibly hear on the radio.
Yeah, same here.
So you have Nico and Sebastian are recent additions to Catatonia. What do they bring to the band?
I think they bring energy more than anything. especially Sebastian. He's a bit younger than the rest of us now, and he comes in with a lot of energy, a lot of sort of willpower to make things happen. Nick, on the other hand, he's older, but he has a lot of energy still, uh, and he's got a lot of experience. He's an experienced player. He's been touring with Entombed AD. He knows he knows his shit. So it's a great duo to have on your hands as guitar players. I think they're also matching each other really well, despite the age difference.
Is that something that Katatonia needed? In what was going on with Anders and the departure, is energy what was missing?
I think so. It's That's what I feel when I sort of backtrack a little bit now, since the guys came into the band. I can definitely sense that this is something that we've missed, but maybe we didn't even know that we missed it. But now it's pretty obvious.
I think when you've been a band so long, you kind of, in many ways, like a marriage, you get used to each other. You maybe get into a rut. So I guess with their addition, do you see more live shows, more touring, more creative output, even if it's just new singles being put out?
Yeah, definitely more touring. I think more gigs generally, and creative output definitely. I mean, they came in when the album was already kind of being written, but they both expressed that they're willing to participate in writing, and I know they both have really cool stuff on their hands when it comes to riffs and even arrangements and stuff. They're both really musical, so that's also a very good thing.
So I know Katatonia is your band. It's been your band for a very long time. Is it still a, full band creative process, or is it more what you want to do and everyone kind of puts their piece to it?
Yeah, I guess so, but I mean, they're all. Uh, I think they're all sort of. They know what to expect from my writing. If they had a different opinion on a song, they would tell me, and I would totally respect that. I wouldn't want to do a song that everybody in the band wasn't really happy with performing and being part of, recording all of that stuff. So I think for me, it's super important to have everybody on the same kind of wavelength when it comes to what we are going to do here, and possibly, for a long time. If we tour for an album a long time, I want everybody to be happy with the songs that we're going to perform for a long time.
Hmm.
If someone feels like, I already said 3 years ago that this song was shit song, that would be, for me, I would feel kind of guilty if I said, yeah, but we have to play it now every night for another year.
Hmm.
So, so I'm always looking forward to opinions, and when I send out ideas or even finished songs, I'm always like, what do you think? Do you think there's something that could be changed for the better? And so it's a very open process, and it's ongoing until the album is mixed, pretty much.
That's great. It's not a Dave Mustaine Megadeth situation where you're looking for the next drummer every other year.
No, exactly. I don't want to be in a Dave Mustaine situation. It wouldn't suit me at all. I don't feel like, for me, being in a band is all about being in a band.
Hmm.
It's and it's not all about the music, obviously, because you have to do a lot of stuff together. So you have to sort of like each other and consider each other good friends. That's a super important part as well.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned touring plans, touring ideas, wanting to play more shows. Uh, Being in the United States, we've seen bands coming over from Europe that have had troubles with visas. There's obviously now travel and safety concerns. Are there any concerns for you and the band having to come over here and play shows?
I don't know yet. I mean, we do have plans to come over to the States, which is something that we always want to do because I love playing the States. Um, and I was talking to our tour manager the other weekend when we were playing a show, and she said if things change for the worse, maybe we should, consider maybe not to do it. But she said like right now we have to go on with the planning because I mean North America's a big market, and if you want to tour an album fully, you have to go there, and I really want to do it. But at the same time, of course, there's a bit of concern about visas and stuff. But we have to go on with it and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, like it's frustrating for me because I understand why a band wouldn't want to come here, increasing prices, visa trouble, safety issues, and I've kind of seen some bands maybe just playing the bigger cities and kind of skipping over some of like the secondary market. So on the one hand, as a fan, I understand, and on the other hand, it's like, can you please play slightly closer? So it's,
Yeah,
it's that understanding balance between the musician and the fans, and this is your life and a business as well.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, if we come over, I don't think we're just gonna do a tour where we play the bigger cities because I mean, if we do all the traveling and getting the visas and everything, uh, there's no reason why we wouldn't play as much as possible.
Something I like to ask when we do these interviews, specifically with singers and vocalists, is when did you first realize that you could actually sing?
Um, I think it was when I actually started singing because I was doing the death metal singing in the
Mm.
beginning of the band, and then I sort of lost the technique. I couldn't really do it anymore, and all of a sudden we had written an album that was gonna be clean vocals only, and I was writing the lyrics, and I wasn't really sure should we get another singer because I was playing drums at the time as well. But we sort of said like I should give it a try because I had been the singer before, and I had no idea if I could sing or not. So it was trial and error for quite some time there, and I was not really comfortable doing it. I sort of realized I had, some kind of quality to the voice. It sounded quite personal, I thought. Technique wise, it was shit, but you know, uh, someone had to do it, and then I have gradually sort of grown into the position as being the singer. Nowadays, I like it, but in the beginning, it was fucking terrible.
I mean, it's terrifying, especially if you were a drummer at some point and suddenly not only are you the focal point of the band, but you're, live, you're in front of
Yeah,
everyone and, with your lyrics that mean a lot to you, suddenly it's you are the guy, you are the main person and
yeah,
all the attention's on you.
yeah. That's exactly what I didn't expect and didn't want at the time. Um, but I'm really happy that I took the step now because it's taken us. I mean, it's taken some years to get where we are, but it's been hard work and also getting the time to actually enjoy all of the stuff that you just mentioned. Even being a frontman these days feels like it's something I can do. But it took some time to get that kind of confidence, and not just should you get confidence enough to sing, but that you should also interact with the crowds, do the talking in between the songs. It's been a long learning curve for me.
Do you feel like you have to have a lot of banter in between songs when playing sad and introspective songs? Like, do you feel the need to be funny or to like really chat with people, or does it like take away some of the mystique?
I mean, in the past, I didn't say much between the songs, but partly because I didn't know what to say. Also because I thought, the music it's introspective and it's sad, and you don't have to sort of do any jokes or whatever. But these days I can actually crack a few jokes because people might not expect it. So
You
just
could be
doing the
like
unexpected.
you could be like Michael from Opeth, and when I saw them last, he did Scorpions trivia in between songs.
Yeah, I mean, but he's hilarious. I could never reach that kind of level. I mean, he could have his own stand-up show instead of doing the Opeth tours probably. But I think he's got a great sense of humor, and whenever I see Opeth live, I love the banter that he's doing.
What's your vocal warm-up routine if you have one?
I have one. It's not the the normal one with the pro vocalists do their scales and
Hmm.
stuff, but for us, it's always been about because everybody in the band needs to get in the right mood before a show. So, like an hour before the show, we put on some favorite music. Everybody's sort of just fueling up, and I just try to sing along to those songs that we play. And so
What are some
that's
of those
the
songs?
oh, it's a lot of old heavy metal stuff. It's some Yngwie Malmsteen, it's Ratt, it's Europe, that kind of stuff that you can sing along to. You don't exactly have to know the words. You just belt out some some stuff that makes you feel, you know, in good spirits. And I think it's a great way for me to warm up at least.
So if someone is backstage and they come across you singing Round and Round, they'll know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's on that playlist actually. That song. Some Quiet Riot as well.
Oh, very
Through
nice. I
yeah.
mean, that's yeah, you mentioned being happy while doing this process, so that makes a lot of sense to specifically do like 80s heavy metal, even hair metal to kind of get you upbeat and ready to do sad songs.
Yeah, and I mean hair metal, they were all about having a good time. So if you want to be at least, half of where they used to be before their shows, that's the stuff you have to listen to.
I mean, if you ever want to blow someone's mind live, you just break out one of those songs as a cover towards the end of the set.
We should actually practice one of them to
I
to
think that would be hilarious.
yeah, me too.
All right. Well, Jonas, thank you so much for doing this. I really do appreciate it. And anything else that you want to tell the listeners before I let you go?
No, thanks to you, Jordan, for doing it. It's been a really good talk, and I just want to say that again that we really hope to get over there and play to you guys overseas. So let's hope that the situation doesn't get worse at least.
Well, I have my fingers crossed. I have never
Yeah,
seen you live yet, so I am really hoping to catch you in this year or the next in the United States. I know a lot of
yeah,
people are as well.
cool. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
All right.
you
Bye-bye.
too. Bye.